What's going on, everybody? Critic and the Common Man here with a long-awaited review of the TV series Wandavision. This is the first big thing of 2021 to come out. This is the first of Marvel's Phase 4.
Yeah.
A lot going on. This was obviously highly...
I want to say, before we review WandaVision, we can't look at it in black and white. We have to see all of the shit. I can't.
Oh, Jesus. I'm fully expecting this review to be in black and white.
Yeah.
Just like The Mandalorian, we're going to be doing a short series. We're going to review every week. We're going to jump on and review the episode of WandaVision that comes out. There's 2 out now, Chris. I'm assuming that they're going to be dropping 1, I believe, every Friday now for the rest of the season.
I think so.
This is one of the few shows that still does that. It seems like a lot of things now, they drop a whole season at a time. Disney, I guess, is holding true.
Disney is really just trying to milk their content. They're just like, we don't really have a lot, so once a week, they're just putting it out.
I'm reluctant, but I enjoy it. It forces me to have something to look forward to, and it forces me to not binge the show. I truly believe if The Mandalorian had just come out all at once, we probably would have sat down and watched season 2 in 1, maybe 2 sittings.
Yep.
So, okay, I need you, Chris. I need you to talk me off the ledge a little bit here with WandaVision because
you have so much to live for.
I was confused and upset and scared, and I didn't know what to think. Before we get into it a little bit, guys, this is your spoiler warning. If you've not seen WandaVision episode 1 and 2, go ahead and watch that on Disney Plus. Come back and then join us here. We're going to be doing a full review with spoilers included. What did you think, Chris, of this show? We have 2 episodes now. Clearly, this is very different. I'm excited to talk to you about it. What's your opinion on this so far?
I think the word that comes to mind for this entire show is just that it's really charming. It's weird because it's presenting itself like a sitcom, which is kind of the point.
Right.
So when you're looking at the episodes individually, there's not really much that's going on that's pushing the story forward, except for those weird moments when you start picking up hints that there's something else happening. And it happens in every episode. And we're starting to get the hint that Wanda is kind of refusing to see reality as what it is, and that there's some bigger organization or something that is kind of keeping her in check or keeping her in this thing. We hear the voice saying, well, who's doing this to you, Wanda? We see that symbol a couple times. We saw it on the helicopter. We saw it on the book.
Yes.
That is the symbol for SWORD, which is like the superhuman weirdos of regional districts. I don't know. I can't remember.
Whatever the acronym is.
It basically kind of like, I think they're meant to kind of help or keep in check people with powers. I don't really know. It's a comic book thing. I did some research. But like overall, just that little bit of hint that we're getting into, that it's tying into Endgame and Infinity War and all that is so interesting because it makes me wonder what has happened between the end of those movies and this, and how she got to this point where she is reliving, a fantasy basically in her head, what it feels like. And it's just, I think the show presents itself as funny and clever with this underlying sense of uneasiness that kind of keeps the viewer intrigued. What about you?
I don't know, man. I mean, like you said, it's a comic book thing. I think that's kind of the key for me so far, is that a lot of what's going on in this show apparently is pretty true to the comic book stories. And as somebody who's never read the comics, it is a little bit tricky for me. It's hard though, man, because the pacing is so different than what we're used to in TV shows now. I'm not really a fan of a lot of sitcoms, especially not old black and white ones. And I think what's kind of keeping me interested in this and what's kind of stringing me along is the fact that we're talking about Wanda and Vision, 2 very modern characters, one of which, Vision, being a robot. I keep waiting for them to break out of this sitcom vibe, and then of course at the end of episode 2, things come into color, and now we've kind of progressed forward. But the pacing the pacing is very different because they hit the brakes. Each episode,
Yes.
is very much it's very much just a sitcom, and I was kind of expecting something to happen where Thanos was going to pop in and they're fighting him, or Vision and Wanda are going to find some bad guy and try to kick his ass or something, and you don't get it. It's just sort of it's just a sitcom, and it doesn't even if Vision weren't Vision and if Wanda weren't Wanda, you would totally believe that this was something from the from the 40s or 50s. Now and they kind of made that they made us aware of that, I suppose, before the show even started. I mean, we saw in the trailers that there was going to be something like that going on. It's just such an adjustment to hit the brakes the way that this show does with the pacing and to slow way down.
Very different. Like it's so different from the theme and the color palette and everything that we saw in Endgame and Infinity War. It's just we went from something super dramatic and heartbreaking, with the deaths of certain characters and stuff. And then we just go into like this like hunky-dory sitcom where everything is funny, and it is very strange. But for some reason, I think it works for the show. I think that because they showed us for months what we were preparing for,
Right.
And knowing Wanda being how powerful she is and the things she can literally alter time and space, I think it not only is it staying true to like the comics but also the character, and just her. Like we already saw how destructive she can be when she lost her brother and she like leveled Sokovia.
That's true.
And then she lost her lover twice.
Yeah.
And I think it makes sense that she would kind of retreat into her own mind space, to kind of try or not cope really with what's happening.
Right.
I'm curious, who do you think is talking in those the radio broadcasts?
I don't know. And that's the thing. It's like I'm trying to figure this out, and I again, you have to do some research in this show if you're trying to figure out what's going on. If you're just the casual fan like I am and you haven't read the comic books, I have a feeling this show's going to get really confusing. I don't know who's talking to her. I think the guy who was talking to her through the radio, I'm pretty sure that dude was in Infinity War. I think that's a familiar voice. So we need to look into who that actually is. But
I think it's Clint. It sounds like Clint to me, like Hawkeye. But I don't think he's going to be in the shows, so I don't know.
It's so strange, man. Clearly, Wanda is the main character of this show. I mean, I know it's about Wanda and Vision, but I think it's pretty safe to say that Wanda is the main character here, and she's kind of creating or is trapped in this world, this sitcom world that she's in.
I have a theory.
Okay.
What do you think is causing it to go from black and white to color?
Dude, that's the thing. Like, I don't know, and I think that's where some of my frustration is coming from with this show, because I'm lost. I'm really lost right now with what's supposed to be happening. I don't know enough about like the Marvel backstories to kind of figure out what's going on, but it seems like as she's becoming more aware of what's happening to her, that somehow she's like she's changing this world around her, or she's. Oh, I don't know. And the random toys that come out of like the helicopter that lands in the bushes and it's bright red and yet everything is black and white. I mean, what about you?
It was
man?
like Iron Man colors.
Yeah, that's true. It was Iron Man colors. Do you have theories on what's happening right now?
I do. I think that Wanda is somehow, by refusing to accept what happened to Vision and putting him into this, this dream of hers in her head, I think she is somehow making him real. I think she is slowly actually creating things from her imagination. I think she's bringing Vision back to life, because the last thing that he said to her was, I see you, or something like that. Like, I think there's a connection there that somehow, because of the soul stone or the mind stone, that she was able to kind of pull his consciousness out of the stone, and is now like he is inside of her, and because of her powers, she's bringing him to life again. And I think that's where the color is coming from. I think that she is turning something that was fiction into reality. I think she's starting to actually bend space and time.
See, I don't know if the thing is, I don't know if she's in control of this world around her. Because then you got the guy in the radio saying, who's doing this to you? as if she's
True.
like being put in this sitcom world against her will. But why a sitcom? Why is she in a
Yeah.
sitcom? And why these characters that are in there? They're clearly after some sort of information, because the guy, like the boss, Mr. Hart, when they have him over for dinner, he gets really frustrated when he's asking him questions and he's not getting the answer. Like he's like, "Where'd you come? Where are you
Right.
from? Who are you? Where are you from?" He starts getting really frustrated and like really
Where are you from, damn it?
aggressively,
Yeah.
trying to get that information. But there's a couple things now that have happened in each episode that are very weird, and it's almost like you're watching the whole episode just to figure out, like, just to see what little weird, quirky thing is going to happen next. In the first episode,
Which I
it
think
was
makes it. I think that makes it sound like it's bad writing. Like, like the show itself isn't good enough to keep you interested until something weird happens. I don't know. I don't know. I still don't really know how to feel about it, but I love the sitcom vibe that it's giving. It's charming.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't go somewhere soon,
the thing is,
I'm gonna start to.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't like the sitcom thing. Like, I'm interested to see how these.
I know you
reviews-
hate laugh tracks. I know that.
Yeah, that bothers me, and it's just I can't. I mean, is Marvel's so creative and so different because they're doing something that was done 50 years ago for a long time? I mean, I don't know, man. To go from Endgame to the 50s 40s sitcom thing is just kind of weird to me. I am not at all saying I don't like it yet, because it's way too early to tell. And I understand that a difference in pacing doesn't mean that the show is bad or anything like that. I would not say that. It's just, by the end of episode 1 of The Mandalorian, and I know that's a little bit unfair because totally different worlds, totally different shows. But in the end of episode 1 of The Mandalorian, I was so into it that I like could not wait to watch the next one. And to be honest, I kind of found myself sort of bored throughout this show because you're just watching a sitcom.
And they're so quick. The episodes are so fast.
They are fast.
And you're right. It literally is. You're just at this point in the show. You're just watching a sitcom. You're just like, oh, laughs.
Yeah,
so funny with this magic box.
I think this will be a good. I think this will be a good exercise for, at least, especially for me. You're already good at this, but this will be a good exercise for me of slowing down a little bit and just appreciating the show for what it is and appreciating the pace. The show doesn't have to be super fast paced and action packed and all that to be a good show. That's something that I've got to just appreciate, just understand. It can be a slow paced show. It can be kind of this sitcom vibe, and if that's what the show is, that's fine. If that's what the show is going to be, it's never going to be my favorite show. It doesn't mean it's not going to be a good show.
I think the reason I like it is because I love Paul Bettany as an actor.
Yeah.
And like we've seen him play Vision, who is a pretty serious, computer like program or character, obviously. But like when you look at him in things like A Knight's Tale, he's so funny. He is such a comedic actor. And I think it's really interesting seeing him get to play a character that's more in line with like who he is as a person finally. I don't know. I think the little bits of humor that they inject into the show, and then I think there's a lot of stuff. I bet if we watched it again, there's a lot of stuff that we would pick up, but we'd be like, oh, that's weird.
You're probably right. I'll tell you, I need the show to pick up a little bit more as far as what's going on in the subplot for me to really be into it. But I can appreciate how different it is and how creative it is from what we're normally, like what we've kind of gotten used to now.
I think it needs to pick up by the next episode. Otherwise, I'm going to start getting harsher on it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Because what has happened so far outside of just the fact that we're watching a sitcom, the man has talked to Wanda through the radio. They saw the random beekeeper guy come out of the sewer,
which was kind of unsettling.
Which was very weird. They saw the helicopter crash or didn't see it, but they saw the helicopter toy in the hedges.
When the guy was choking,
yes,
when he pulled the thing out, you could hear breaking glass, and it's kind of reminiscent of when Vision had the thing ripped out of his head.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I didn't notice the breaking glass sound. Okay. I mean, again, it's just a different show than what we're used to, and that's fine. I think a lot of people so far have loved it. I definitely, as from what I've seen so far, there's no way I can say that I loved it. I'm not going to say it's a bad show. That's way too early to say anything like that. But I'm definitely not going to say that I love it so far.
I definitely like it.
Okay.
I just think that I'm also only 2 episodes in, and I think that again the show needs to kind of show where it's going Otherwise, I'm gonna start thinking that it's just not well written.
Well, it's like
Because I expect the show to present storyline, not just hints.
yeah,
And at the moment, we're only getting hints, and I
we are
think
getting
that that's
hints.
not good enough.
Yeah, we are getting hints. And the thing is too, man, like, I mean, Jesus, at this pace, we're gonna be done with season 1, and we're not gonna know anything. It's like we're gonna be done with season 1, and the only thing that's gonna have changed is Wanda and Vision will have gone into color, which is fine. I mean, cool, but what does that mean? It's like at the end of episode 2, it's the world becomes colorful and things change, and I'm sure there are people out there who've read the comics and who kind of know where this is going, and that's exciting for them, and it's interesting because they kind of can see what's happening. But I'm not that person. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I've invested 2 episodes into a show that, for the record, I'm pretty sure that I read that WandaVision had a production budget of $225 million for season 1, which makes it the most expensive show ever produced. I think that the Lord of the Rings show is going to end up taking over that. I think the Lord of the Rings show is already getting close to that. But this, as far as shows that have been produced and are out, WandaVision is the most expensive show ever produced for one season at $225 million. Which
that
is
probably
just,
all went to like set design and paying the actors. And
yeah, absolutely. And it's just insane. I don't know, man.
I'm interested. I want to see where it goes.
What'd you say?
I'm definitely interested. I want to see where it goes.
Yeah, me too. Sorry, my AirPods just died, so my voice is going to sound a little different if you can hear me. I'm very interested to see where it goes as well. I think they need to pick it up a little bit for me to really remain interested in this season. I'm almost getting kind of a Lost vibe, just in the sense that every episode they give you like these tiny little random clues, and like, will we ever even see that beekeeper again? I don't know. Or is it just going to be part of this big puzzle?
Wait. Where's the polar bear?
Yeah.
I want that polar bear.
It's just so strange, man. I don't know. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below, because this is one that I really want to get some interaction on. Have people start kind of giving us their input, see what we think. Tell us what you guys think is going to happen. What are we expecting here? I know that it would help us to read the comics for sure, but we'll see, man. I mean, WandaVision episode 1 and 2, to me, a little slow so far. Full marks for creativity. Can't say that this is like my favorite show. Definitely wouldn't say that yet, but we have a long way to go, man. We have a long way to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely interested because this is the start of Phase 4.
That's right.
Finally. And I think that it's kind of setting us up for... I think each of these shows is going to be different. Every show is going to have its own vibe, just like every movie of the Marvel had its own vibe. You know, Ant-Man was super funny. Thor was funny and just, Captain America was always a little darker. Iron Man was a little darker. It's just every single hero has like a vibe, and they mesh well together as a unit. And it's just interesting seeing Wanda and Vision kind of exploring this relationship that we never really got to see in the movies, and just getting a little deeper dive into what's going on there. So I'm interested. I definitely want to see more. I hope that there's bigger things to come, because at the moment I'm a little underwhelmed, but I like it and its charming portrayal of everything enough to where I'm like, you know what, I'm in. Let me see what else you've got.
Yeah, I think they're gonna give us something in the next episode that's really gonna get us involved, a little more interested in what's going on outside of just Wanda and Vision living a life, in a sitcom. That's it, you guys. WandaVision episode 1 and 2. We'll see you guys next week when episode 3 drops. Let us know what you guys think of this one in the comments down below. Thumbs up, thumbs down if you loved or hated this review. If this is your first time seeing Critic in the Common Man, we would love and very much appreciate a subscribe. Jump over to our Instagram, Critic in the Common Man, or go to our website, www.criticinthecommonman.com. You can see all our movie rankings and all the TV rankings we've done and see what we think. And that's it. Let us know what you guys think down below. Critic in the Common Man, WandaVision episode 1 and 2. We will see you next week for episode 3. Chris, we are out of here.
Vision. Phase. I don't know if I can phase through things. I don't know how to...